What's happening, everybody? We'll Fix It team right here. We're going to do a little simply just to maybe help some people out there that's kind of, these trucks are still around, and you got some people out there that want to, lift, do a leveling or whatever you want to call it to their truck. And this is on a Toyota. And lift blocks that go in between the struts are sometimes a little bit cumbersome to get in. I got one side in, so now I'm sure I can do it like this. So I'll do a video from what it took me to get it on this 95 model independent front suspension Toyota truck. I'll show you what I did and how I got the lift block and everything and the strut back up in there with minimal effort. Stay tuned. Okay, so what I've done here is, I'll just get the camera and just do a little quick side shot. I just loosened and got the upper control arm off so that this can go down further. I've got it kind of tied off with some wire so it doesn't go too far out and pull my CV axle out of joint. And we're going to drop the strut that's in place on this spring bucket here, strut bucket. We're going to drop that out of there and get our spacer blocks installed on the top. We'll get the strut back up in the hole right quick, and then I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, so I'm going to try not to stand in the way, but we're going to get this up in here. By the way, I got these 3-inch lift blocks off of Amazon. Yeah, I know, feeding the machine. But they were only like $45. So the first thing I did, I made sure that hardware matched up, and I double checked the fitment of these holes to the top of the strut tower there. So now to get it up in the hole, that's the start. And they have to go down quite a bit with the control arm, so I had to devise a method of doing that. All right, let's see here. All right, so we got our one bolt started, and I don't tighten everything all the way down because I need that strut needs to move a little bit. But we'll get our hardware on as fast as I can here. By the way, just in case anybody wants to know, this block washer first and then flat washer next. Probably don't want to offend anybody by showing that, but just I'm not saying anybody don't take that to an offense. So you'd be surprised some of the questions that we'll get. Now I just got to turn this to line it up with the slot for that right there. And this is where I make weird faces. I have to push down on stuff. Let me get this. Oh, all right, there we go. We're good. All right. we're almost there. I can get a different light on the pry bar. I've got to get it to turn just a little bit. You don't want to whack the heck out of it and mess up the end of your bolt, don't you know? But I'll give you another visual of what and why it was done like this. Because it just has got to go so far to go down. And trust me, the springs are going to come up a lot. It's probably going to put this thing almost level. It was quite a bit of the way it's not level, the opposite of level. And I used an old screw jack that I've been using for years for different things to kind of tilt down on this last little bit right here, because you'll get almost down and you'll run out of down play because the axle, CV axle, goes, nope, we can't do it. And I loosened the brake line and got that loose to come down some more. And now that I don't want to tighten this up. I'll tell you in a second why. I'm going to put this back on, and then I'm going to put the bolt and tighten the bolt, but I'm going to leave that loose until I jack it up to where that jack stand just starts to see the frame come off of it. Then I'll tighten down this bolt that goes between this upper control arm, and I'll tighten down the shock absorber part as well, because what happens is if you were to tighten it down, get everything down while it's all in the down play position, it will, when you tighten it down and then put the weight back on it, it makes everything push up and start twisting the bushings in an unnatural position. So you want the vehicle sort of sitting in its weighted position so that you have a less opportunity of that to happen. So now all I've got to do is just go ahead and hook that back up, which is real simple. So we'll call this video a day. Just a simple method and some of the little handy tools that I built that helps me and help you if you're doing this. And a lot of trucks that people are looking to do this, and this is a helpful way. You probably wouldn't need the floor jack thing or the little screw jack if you were doing a 2-inch or an 1.5 inch or maybe even 2.5, because it's just right on the cusp with the 3-inch block, which is not 3 inches, but the way it works in the system, as far as the angles and trajectory, it actually gives you just about a 3-inch lift with the not quite 3-inch block. Okay, thank you guys for the Will Fix It team. Thank you for tuning in. All right, bye. My apologies for the super glary sun, but in case you're wondering, it was down a lot in the front, and I haven't even drove it up the road yet. Sometimes that settles back in, but it looks just about level. I mean, that's not a bad turnout. I know I went 3 inches just to get it level with the back, which do not have any lift blocks. I don't know. I even put new struts to see if the springs were weak, and I set it down, and it went way back down. So I said, man, okay, and I just said, we're going 3 inches. Shit, just 3 inches. If it didn't sit quite right later on, put an inch block in the back and call it a wrap, but it's sitting pretty good right now, and I just wanted to show you what that looks like.